visa has faced criticism because of reverse remittances for a very long period of time. It has been the complaint from so many Asian nations as well as African nations that the total amount of visas application that is coming to the Schengen nations is way higher than the total number of visas that is actually accepted by these Schengen nations. So there are certain complexities such as the too much amount of paperwork that has to be done. The amount of rejection, the percentage of rejection of these visas is staggeringly very high. If we talk only in terms of numbers, this is approximately 70%. Hello and welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to understand this problem of reverse remittances, and we will also be understanding why is the rejection rate of Schengen visas as high as 70%. But before we delve into these details, we first need to understand what is Schengen visa. This visa is issued to a non-European Union national, and this visa is valid for a period of 90 days. This visa that means that a person who has entered into a Schengen territory shall be allowed to stay in the Schengen area for only a period of 90 days, and the visa will be issued. The total amount of time that you have to visit the Schengen country will be 180 days. So within a period of 180 days, 90 days is the total validity of this visa for a non-EU national. So which all countries ke liye this Schengen visa shall be applicable? It consists of 25 nations of European Union. But apart from these European Union nations, there are certain other countries who are not members of European Union but are still part of the Schengen visa. Who are they? They include Liechtenstein, Norway, Iceland as well as Switzerland. So these countries who are non-European Union members have also allowed the non-European Union tourists to come and visit their country under the Schengen visa. So this is all about the visa. Now, talking about the issues about these visas, the issue is, the first major issue is the complexity in the paperwork. So there is huge amount of paperwork that is involved in issuance of these visas. But apart from this, there is also a lot many number of applications that have to be submitted not only to a single window but to multiple windows. So we do not have a single entry and single exit. We do not have a single method of applying for the Schengen visa. Additionally, the overall time taken to approve for the visa is also very high. That increases the overall time for the issuance of visa, and that leads to delays in buying the tickets and other complexities for the tourists. If we talk about where are these problems largely located, this is restricted mostly to countries like Italy, Germany, Netherlands, Croatia and Finland. That means if you are entering into a Schengen area through these countries such as Italy or Germany or Netherlands or Croatia or Finland, then the problem gets escalated. But apart from this, of course, we have the issue of the reverse remittances. So what do we mean by reverse remittances? Actually, what do we mean by remittances is there are many number of Indians who are working in these Schengen nations, and the amount of revenue that they generate is brought back to India. So this is known as remittances. But because we discussed that the total amount of visa that gets rejected is very high, so Indians pay huge sums of money in getting these visas, but the visas get rejected. So that leads to huge sums of money which we send for application of these visas that gets transferred from India to these Schengen countries. So this we call as reverse remittances, because remittance was the amount which was getting transferred from European nations to India. So reverse remittances are the amount that gets transferred from India to these Schengen nations. Some of the critics say that this European Union nations or Schengen nations do it deliberately to get back some amount of money. But all in all, this problem was very high, and they tried to resolve this problem. European nations and the Schengen nations tried to resolve this problem for the first time in 2024 in a pilot project when France was hosting the Olympics, the Paris Olympics. That time, approximately 70,000 non-EU nationals had to enter into Paris, and Schengen countries, they tried to issue the visa. This time, the visa was issued digitally but restricted only to France. For the first time, they were able to resolve these problems, and as a learning from 2024, they are trying to implement this project at a full scale by 2026. If we talk about some of the other issues that is restricted to Schengen visa, that this visa is largely rejected for two major continents. One is Africa and second one is Asia. And to top the problem, to increase all of these problems is of course the increase in prices of the Schengen visa also. Schengen visa price was increased by double digits last year. So that has overall increased the price of issuance of the visa. Now, talking about the solution to these problems is we understood this fact that by 2026 they are trying to go fully digital. So how are they turning digital? So far whatever documents was submitted now has to be submitted online. So uploading of documents, paying of fees, tracking of applications, all of this shall be done online, and this will lead to issuance of a 2D barcode. Now this is the barcode which the immigrants, which the non-EU nationals have to show at the airport, at the immigration checks, and as soon as they show this barcode, all the details with respect to security clearances, visa issuance, all of this will be visible. So it will be much easier for the people to enter and cross through the immigration checks. Additionally, talking about who will be mostly benefited, it will be the regular travelers largely. If you are one such person who has not visited Schengen area even once, and you are a first time traveler, so for that time you will have to visit to the consulate, because so far whatever has been carried out for the verification of identity was largely restricted to the passport stickers, but now this will be shifted to biometrics. So the registration of the biometrics के लिए the individual must visit the consulate. For the first time travelers, registration of biometrics के लिए they must visit consulate. But if the travel document is absolutely new, then this travel document must be renewed every 5 years, and that time individual visit to the consulate will be again required. So once the travel document is absolutely new and it's a bare document, so then that time this renewal will be requiring again the individual's visit to the consulate. Now, talking about the benefits, so this will be largely benefiting the regular travelers. As we discussed, if you are a first time traveler or issuing a new travel document, so for all these cases you will have to personally visit the consulate, and which does not get resolved by the digitalization of Schengen visa. So this will be largely benefiting the regular travelers. Now, talking about resolution of this issue, one step that has been proposed by Greece as well as Italy and France, these three nations together have proposed that the Schengen nations as well as EU nations can combine together to put up a simple EU visa. For example, we also discussed, remember, that in Schengen visa we do not have countries like England, we do not have some of the Balkan countries. So because all of these nations are also European Union nations, so France along with Italy and Greece, they have proposed that all the EU nations along with all the Schengen nations can club together to have one single visa. Now that is a proposal and will take some time to get resolved, but this is a major step, a major benefit for at least those who regularly travel to Schengen area, at least for the employment or study related issues. With that, we come to the end of this topic. If you have any doubt, please do let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much and all the very best.